Hey everyone, sorry for the delay. Welcome to Day 8 of our 30 Days of Creo Modeling Challenge for Beginners. Today we're making a Clevis bracket. This model will step the difficulty up a bit. We'll revisit the core skills you already know and also explore a couple of new features so you can see how they work together in a real part. If you're still learning, don't worry. I'll guide you step by step, explain each action, and call out every setting and dimension as we go. Let's see the preview of the 2D drawing. Here's the 2D drawing for our Day 8 model, the Clevis bracket. This combination of bottom circular base, twisted transitions, and forked arms forms the complete Clevis bracket geometry, exactly as represented in both the 2D drawing and the 3D model. Let's open Creo and get started. Let's get started by creating a Clevis bracket using its 2D drawing. First, open a new part file, click on the New tool, and in the Type area, make sure Part is selected. Under Subtype, choose Solid. Now, name the model Clevis Bracket. Uncheck the Use Default Template box and click OK. In the next dialog, select MMNS Part Solid Abs and confirm with OK. Now, move into the sketching environment. Click on the Sketch tool in the Datum group, select the right plane, and confirm with Sketch. Switch your view to normal orientation by clicking Sketch View so it's easier to work. Start by creating a rectangle from the origin. Use the Center Rectangle tool from the Sketch group. Place it at the origin. Next, create a circle with its center point located at the midpoint of the lower line of that rectangle. After that, clean it up by deleting the unwanted entities with the Delete Segment tool. Now it's time to add the dimensions. Set the radius of the arc to 15, and then add the vertical distance between the center point of the arc and the horizontal line. This should also be 15. Once both dimensions are applied, exit the sketch. With the base sketch ready, let's move on to the next step. Select the Extrude tool and switch your view to the standard orientation so the model is easier to see. In the Depth options, choose Symmetric and enter the depth value as 15. Exit the Extrude tab. Next, click the Extrude tool again. This time, select the right face of the base feature. Switch to a normal orientation using Sketch View. Draw a circle by referencing the arc of the base feature and set its diameter to 15. Exit the sketch. Now return to standard orientation. Flip the extrude direction, make sure Remove Material is active, and in the Depth flyout, choose to Next. Once that's done, exit the Extrude tab. Now we'll move on to creating the twisted portion of the model. Select the Blend tool, which you'll find in the Shapes group flyout. This tool is very similar to the Loft tool if you've used other CAD software. Once you activate it, you'll see the Blend interface with several options. Make sure the Sections tab is active, and under that, check that the Sketched Sections radio button is selected. Then, click on Define. Select the top surface of the base feature and confirm with the Sketch button. You're now in the sketching environment. Switch your view to a normal orientation using Sketch View so the sketch is easier to handle. From here, select the Corner Rectangle tool and draw a rectangle on the right side of the base feature. Now apply the dimension. Set the width to 6, and then exit the sketch. Back in the Blend tool, you'll notice an offset handlebar appear in the graphics window. This is for creating the second section at a distance. In the Section tab, enter an offset of 37.5 and click the Sketch button again. Switch your view to a normal orientation using Sketch View so it's easier to work. Now create a rectangle and make sure to fully constrain it. Apply a coincident constraint with the base model to fix its position, and also apply a symmetric relation with the vertical axis so the rectangle stays centered with equal spacing on both sides. Once the constraints are set, it's time to apply the dimensions. The length should be 30, and the width should be 7. After adding these dimensions, exit the sketch. Switch back to standard orientation so you can clearly see the model. Now move to the Tangency tab in the Blend options. Set both the start and end section conditions to normal. This will give a smooth transition, giving the twisted portion a cleaner tangent shape. Exit the Blend tab once that's done. Now let's create another twist, and we'll follow the same process as before. Start by selecting the Blend tool. Once you activate it, the Blend interface will appear. Make sure the Sections tab is selected, and under it, check that the Sketched Sections option is active. Then, click on Define. Select the top surface of the base feature, and confirm with the Sketch button. You're now in the sketching environment. Switch to a normal orientation by clicking Sketch View so it's easier to work. Using the Corner Rectangle tool, create a rectangle on the left side of the base feature. Now, apply the dimension, set the width to 6, and then exit the sketch. Back in the Blend tool, enter an offset distance. In the Section tab, type in 37.5, and then click the Sketch button again to define the second section. Switch back to Sketch View for clarity, and create another rectangle. Constrain it properly by applying a coincident constraint with the base model, and also add a symmetric relation with the vertical axis. Now it's time to add the dimensions. Set the length to 30 and the width to 7, and then exit the sketch. Go to the Tangency tab inside the Blend options. Here, set both the start and the end section conditions to normal. This will give the blend a smoother transition, creating a proper tangent connection between the two rectangles. Once that's done, exit the Blend tab. Now we're moving on to the upper portion of the model. To start, we'll create a datum plane. Select the Plane tool, choose the front plane as your reference, and in the Offset Translation field, enter 15, then confirm with OK. Next, open the Extrude tool and this time select the newly created plane as your sketching plane. Switch the view to a normal orientation using Sketch View so it's easier to work. Begin your sketch by selecting the Corner Rectangle tool from the Sketch group. Draw a rectangle and then place a circle. Make sure the circle's center point is positioned at the midpoint of the rectangle's upper line. Once that geometry is in place, clean up the sketch by removing any unwanted lines with the Delete Segment tool. Now it's time to apply the dimensions. Set the radius of the arc to 15, and also give a vertical distance of 15 from the center of that arc down to the horizontal line. With those values applied, exit the sketch. Return to the Extrude. Switch to the standard orientation for a clear view of the model. Flip the direction and set the depth to 7. Then exit the Extrude tab. Click on the Extrude tool again. Select the front face of the newly created feature and once again switch to a normal orientation with Sketch View to make the work easier. Next, select the Circle tool and create a circle referencing the arc of the base feature. Set its diameter to 15, then exit the Sketch tab. Switch your view to Standard Orientation so the model is easier to see. Flip the direction. Ensure that Remove Material is selected, and in the Depth flyout, choose to Next. Then exit the Extrude tab. Now we will mirror the two newly created extruded features. In the model tree, hold down the Control key and select both features one by one. Then choose the front plane as the mirror plane and confirm to exit the Mirror tab. Next, we'll create the extruded cuts. Select the Extrude tool and pick the right plane as the sketching plane. Switch to a normal orientation using Sketch View so it's easier to work. Use the project tool to project the lines and arcs of the base feature. Select each line and arc one by one, holding down the Control key while doing so. Once all the required geometry is projected, click the green tick. Next, select the Offset tool. In the mini toolbar, click on Review and Edit Chain. Choose the Rule-Based Radio button, and then select the Complete Loop Radio button. After that, select a projected line or arc and enter an offset value of 1, confirm by clicking OK, and then close the Offset mini toolbar. Once that is done, exit the Sketch tab. Now, return to the Extrude tab. In the Depth options, select Symmetric and set the depth value to 1. Make sure that the Remove Material option is selected. With everything set, exit the Extrude tab. That's it for day 8. We've successfully completed the Clevis Bracket model. Great job sticking with it. Every model you finish is another step forward in sharpening your Creo skills. Remember, it's completely normal if things aren't perfect yet. This 30-day challenge is all about steady practice and consistent progress, so keep going. Coming up next, either Thursday or Friday, we'll dive into another exciting model that introduces some new techniques for you to explore. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next one.